In this tutorial, I'm going to take you through how to upload reads to GeoSeeq from the command line. You can upload reads from the web portal. There's another tutorial on how you can upload reads from the web portal from the website. But if you are trying to upload reads from your lab, your company's server, or storage system or something like that, that's probably going to be an easier thing to do from the command line. And we have an API and a command line tool to support that to make that really easy. So what I'm going to take you through on this tutorial here is, first I'm going to show you how to install the command line tool. I'm going to show you how to go to the web portal to get an API token that you can use with the command line tool. And then finally, I'm going to show you how to upload reads with this command line tool and verify that the upload worked the way you expected. So we're going to start out by installing the command line tool. And that's pretty easy to do. So all we have to do here is do pip install GeoSeeq. GeoSeeq, the command line tool, is a Python tool, so we're going to use pip, which is the sort of the Python package manager, to install this. You probably already have pip installed on your system. If you don't, there are a lot of tutorials on how to do that, so I'm not going to cover that here. So you can see we do pip install GeoSeeq, and we get a message that says successfully installed GeoSeeq-0.2.19. That's the version down there at the bottom. Probably you'll have a little bit of a newer version, a little bit of a higher number there by the time you're running this video, since we're updating this package a lot. So we've run that. We're getting the GeoSeeq package installed. And now if we want to verify that our installation worked the way that we expected, we're just going to run geoseeq-help. And we'll get this sort of little help message, which makes it look like GeoSeeq has been installed properly here. So now we're going to go to the web portal and we're going to get an API token. I'm going to talk about what API tokens are and how you can use this with the command line tool. So popping over to the web portal here, just the standard portal.geoseeq.com. First thing I'm going to do is sign in to get an API token. And then I'm going to go to Profile Details, API Token. Just a quick note, API tokens, they are private data. You shouldn't share them with other people since it's sort of the same thing as a username and password. But if you do accidentally share your API token or something like that, it's not too big a deal. You can just go over these three dots on the right-hand side here for whatever token you use, and you can hit Delete Token. And that's going to clear this token and make it so that it doesn't work anymore, and that's going to solve your problems if you've accidentally sort of shared your token with someone that you shouldn't have, or over email or something like that. So now what I'm going to show you to do is actually to get a new token. So we're going to click this new API token in the bottom here. We're going to give the token name. We're going to call this token upload demo, and we're going to hit create. And so this string here, this long string of letters and numbers here, that is your API token. Again, don't share this with people, but if you do, just make sure that you delete it afterwards. But try not to share it because it is private. So we're going to copy that. The other thing to note is once you see this token for this first time, you're never going to get it again. So make sure that you save it somewhere like a password manager or something if you're intending to use this token more than once. Now, to use the token with the command line tool, we're going to set up the token with the command line tool for now. We are going to do this. We are going to do this command export GeoSeeq API token, and that will set the API token in a way that the command line tool can find that. So this is just normal environmental variable here. The name of the environmental variable is geoseeq_API_token, all caps, and then the token itself, as you can see here. And we're going to hit enter. And now we should be set up to actually upload some reads. We've installed the GeoSeeq API client. We've set our API token in the environmental variable here in the environment that we're using. And now we can upload some reads. So I'm going to show you what is in this directory here. You can see that I've got 6 fastq files in this directory. They're S1, L1, R1, S1, L2, R2, S2, L1, R2. So I've got 6 fastq files and they belong to 2 different samples. The 2 samples are S1 and S2. These are sort of a normal naming convention for Illumina paired end files. Um, but if you have a different naming convention, if you have nanopore reads, if you have PacBio reads, if you have single-ended reads, it should that's just fine. GeoSeeq is still going to be able to pick up and upload all of this stuff. And unless you've got sort of a very custom, very unusual naming convention, this is going to be able to identify how these files are named, how they're grouped, and pick up sort of which read goes with which sample, which lane goes with which lane. So we're going to go ahead and get started here. And the command that we want is GeoSeeq upload reads. Hopefully pretty easy to remember. But if you forget, you can just do GeoSeeq upload -- help, and you're going to see this reads command here. So easy to just sort of double check from the command line. So what we want to do is GeoSeeq upload reads, and we're going to do -- help so that we can see what all this command is doing. And it's going to have a lot of output here, so we're going to scroll up to the top. And we see what this command does. It uploads fastq read files to GeoSeeq. It does some automatic grouping for us as well. And then we can see some example usage. Pretty straightforward. GeoSeeq upload reads, GeoSeeq example CLI project. Then we can give it a list of files, or we can give it files as a glob expression. And we can also give the project ID as either this sort of path-like thing, or we can give it as a UUID or GRN or something like that. So this is how we are going to upload reads. And now I'm going to actually do that and show you how that works. So just as a reminder, these are the files that we've got in our directory here. This is the current directory that we're in. So we've got these 6 files here. And what we're going to do is we're going to do GeoSeeq upload reads. And now we have to give a project ID, and we're going to give a project ID in sort of plain English here. So the name of the organization comes first. So the organization we want to upload to here is GeoSeeq. We then put a /. Oh, and I should note you should do this in quotes. You should do this in quotes because you can put spaces into your organization name or your project name here, but your terminal is not going to like that unless you have quotes. So GeoSeeq upload reads, open quotes, the name of your organization / the name of your project. So for us, that's GeoSeeq / read upload demo CLI. So that's going to identify our project to us. It's going to tell us that we want to upload reads to the read upload demo CLI project within the GeoSeeq organization. Now we need to tell the program what fastq files to upload, and we're going to tell it to upload every fastq file in this directory by giving it a glob expression that will match all of these fastq files here. So it's star.fastq.gz, and that's just a normal glob expression, of course, that you can look up for your terminal. So we're going to run that command. And the first thing it's going to ask is it's going to say the read upload demo CLI project doesn't already exist. Do you want to create it? We do want to create it. Obviously, if you have a typo or something like that, this is a good way to catch yourself and be like, oh no, I didn't want to upload to that project. I spelled it wrong or something like that. So we created that project, and it's found 6 files to upload, these 6 fastq files. And now it's automatically grouped those fastq files by their read number, by their lane number. By default, the program is going to look for Illumina paired end reads or BGI paired end reads, paired end short reads. But if you have nanopore, if you have PacBio, if you have single-ended reads, it can find that too. You're just going to need to tell the program to look for single-ended reads, and I'm going to show you how to look for single-ended reads in just a second here so you can see how that works too. So we review what groups it's made out of it. We can see that it's made 2 samples, sample name S1 and sample name S2. It's got 4 files in S1. It's got 2 files in S2, which is what we expect. And it's got the files properly grouped with reads and lanes, so it all looks good. And we're going to tell it to go ahead and upload these files, and it's going to start doing that. Now, these files are really, really tiny, so they should upload pretty fast here. You can see how quickly these progress bars are going when it starts uploading each file. Obviously, if you've got more files, if you've got bigger files, if your internet connection is a little bit slower, then this kind of upload is going to take a little bit longer. no big deal there. You know, it'll take longer as you would expect it to. Okay, so that upload completed. It looks like we've got a little bit of a warning here. This can be sort of a system dependent thing, but I don't think this is an issue here. We can ignore that warning. So now we've initiated an upload. We ran the upload, and we're actually going to go back to the website to look at the results of the upload here and check it out. And then I'm going to come back to the command line tool and show you a couple of important arguments. So back on the website here, we're going to go over to organizations. We're going to go to the GeoSeeq organization. And we've got our CLI read upload demo, this project that we just created here. Note that by default, the command line tool is going to create private projects for you. It created this project as private, or you can always change that later if you wanted your project to be public. But of course, the case is that most times you want your projects to be private. So we've got our project here. We're going to go to the samples, and we see our two samples here. We've got sample 1 and sample 2. If we go into sample 1, we see this folder, short read paired end. And within that, we see our 4 fastq files. We can see that they were uploaded today, just like we'd expect. And as usual, when we click on them, we're going to get a little preview of the fastq files. So that looks all good. Let's go ahead and check out S2 and make sure that looks good too. Same thing, we've got a folder there. Click into that. We've got 2 files in this folder, which is what we expected because this sample only had 2 files instead of 4. So this all looks good. This looks like the project we wanted to create. It looks like the files are there, and it looks like the files really are present because we can preview them. And if the upload had failed for some reason, then this preview wouldn't work. So we're all set there. Now I'm going to go back to the command line here, and I'm going to show you a couple of useful arguments for when you're uploading these reads that can potentially speed things up, or that can help you out if you've got nanopore reads, if you've got single-ended reads, if you've got PacBio reads, or other long read technologies, since there are now quite a few of them. So I'm going to use, again, this GeoSeeq upload reads -- help command. And I'm going to take you through a couple of the arguments here. So you can see these options listed at the bottom here, and you can see a little bit of an explanation for what they mean. So the first one I want to show you is this module name argument, -m, -- module name. And you can see you have 3 options here. You've got short read -- paired end, short read, or : I should say, short read : paired end, short read : single end, and long read : nanopore. We're going to add a PacBio specific one here, but if you have PacBio reads and you're using this version of the command line tool, you can just use nanopore. The important piece is the long read piece, not the second part of this here. So if you had, for example, long read data, what you would do is you would do the same GeoSeeq upload reads command that we did before, but you would add to this command -- module name long read : nanopore. Probably best to quote this just so your terminal doesn't get confused. Oh, and it looks like I had a bit of a spelling issue there. And if you ran that, GeoSeeq is going to treat those files as nanopore files. You could have also done short read single end, and it's going to group them appropriately for nanopore files or for single end read files. So that's how you do that. The other thing that I want to show you here is this cores option. So I did not set this when I uploaded reads, which meant that it was only going to use 1 core. It was only going to do 1 upload at a time. If you've got a system with a good internet connection, with a lot of bandwidth, you can do multiple uploads in parallel. This is going to be a lot faster if you have that good bandwidth. So the way you're going to do that is you're going to do GeoSeeq upload reads. Same thing, same command we ran before, but you're going to add a cores argument here, and you can give it as many cores as you think you have bandwidth for, as many uploads as you want to run in parallel. So in this case, I might use like 4 cores, and that's going to run roughly 4 times faster up until the amount of bandwidth you have. So that's pretty much all that goes into being able to upload reads to GeoSeeq from the command line. Again, if you prefer to use the web portal, there's another tutorial on that, and we're gonna of course link to that tutorial from here. But if your files are stored on a server, this is probably going to be a little bit of an easier way to do it, or if you're just more comfortable on the command line. Thanks for listening.